What is good? Osiris here, stuck in the middle. And CBS made an announcement yesterday that a lot of people might not care, and I understand why. I think it is kind of a big news. They're going to be, don't get it twisted, they're going to be back on Twitter at some point. It's too valuable of a platform. But here's what they had to say in 13 seconds.
In light of the uncertainty around Twitter and out of an abundance of caution, CBS News is pausing its activity on the social media site as it continues to monitor the platform, Major.
Jonathan Vigliotti, thank you.
In light of the uncertainty.
Before I get into the details here, I'm just going to do a quick Griff game show brought to you by Stuck in the Middle. Stuck in the Middle mug. I got the Mega MAGA Man sweater. Got shirts too with the little red hat. Got the ones that just say Mega Man too. Also got new Christmas gear. So check that out. I'm going to get away from that for a second because what it makes me do is look at the larger topic of leadership. Elon Musk is setting a culture at Twitter, and that's what CBS News is really afraid of. You've got a new head honcho in charge. He's getting rid of all the rats and roaches. So CBS News has to fall back because they don't fit in this category. There's other reasons too, but this is Elon Musk setting a culture. You see this in businesses all the time. You see it in sports as well. How many people at Twitter were ideologues only because their leaders were? Or maybe they were a little bit ideologues, or they had a little bit of that corporate idea in them, but then it was flourished because that's what they saw was promoted. That's what they saw was rewarded. That's what they saw the culture was. Most people are not leaders. They are followers. So leadership really matters. Imagine if, just for a second, imagine if you were to take a football team and you wanted to sabotage it. Who would you choose as your leader? If you wanted to sabotage somebody, remember, you want them to do bad, a football team to do bad. Would you choose Kerry Lake to lead that football team if you want them to do bad? Or would you choose Katie Hobbs? Just the mentality. You would have someone who you look at and probably have players running through a brick wall for in Kerry Lake. Katie Hobbs, not so much. That's the importance of leadership, and that's why elections have to be fortified. That's why they have to fortify elections like Arizona. If you have somebody like Kerry Lake leading a state, it fosters an atmosphere that creates more Kerry Lakes, more independent-minded thinking, more God, family, country, state type mindsets. And when you have that mindset of God, family, country, it's harder to control somebody. Constitutional people who are also very versed and respect the Constitution, that's a movement. That's not just about what team somebody is on. That's why they had to dump millions upon millions more dollars than MAGA in the midterms, because they couldn't have those leaders spreading up all over the country. And the ideas from those leaders are much more attractive than the corporate ideas. Of course, it's pertinent to our world. How many people, it wouldn't be a tweet from me without a huge typo, but how many people in media today who spew hate? You just turn on your TV, you'll see hate within 5 minutes. PBS, I used to love PBS. I used to love NPR. You'll hear hate from them within 5 to 10 minutes of turning on their network at any moment, pretty much. So that's what's rewarded. That's what is expected from their leaders. How many of them would flip if they were rewarded for being authentic? I don't buy it. I use Karine Jean-Pierre as someone who's authentic. I think would be authentic if it was rewarded. She talks about racism, all that. I look her in her eyes. I don't see that she believes it. When she's on the podium and she's lying, I don't think she believes it. I don't think she enjoys it. I don't think she likes it. Elon Musk liked this tweet. It's a quote from him that said, "I'm a strong believer in doing the reality of good over the perception of good. So we're just going to take the heat. If we know we're going to get sued despite doing the right thing, we will do the right thing and get sued." I just did an update where I said, I think there's still the door open for Alex Jones to get back on the platform. I think people are misinterpreting his very short, coy responses. Just like he did the poll for Trump versus should we bring Trump back to Twitter. The reason he did the poll wasn't to bring Trump back to Twitter. It was to find bots. Go to his account, and after that poll, all he's talking about is bots. So he has purpose behind what he says. And he's doing these little short, coy answers to generate controversy, in my opinion, to see who understands where he's coming from, who reads between the line, and who looks at the black and white, what's out there. So when you look at that, If you read that quote, that's somebody who's a leader who is not afraid to bring Alex Jones back to the platform. That's how I interpret that. This is the headline story, though. Back to the headline story. CBS News suspends Twitter posting in light of uncertainty about Musk-owned social platform. The leadership of Elon Musk, like you would see the leadership of Carrie Lake, leadership of others, it takes the people who are disingenuous. It does not give them a friendly place to stay. Elon Musk tweeted early in the morning on Saturday morning, pictures of them taking pictures. These are the ones who stayed after the leader said, if you don't want to work hard for us, and this is indirectly him saying, if you're on some blue-haired, cult type stuff, get the hell out. Basically is what he's saying, because if you're on that stuff, then you're not a hard worker pretty much, for the most part. And who's left? The people who want to smile, the people who want to be led. I would pay money to work under Elon Musk for a week. Somebody on Twitter was talking about, well, how do we know they're getting paid more for working so hard? And, bro, number one, don't assume that they're not getting equity. Number two, look at that. That's invaluable to have on your resume. I was in the same room with Elon Musk, one of the greatest business engineering minds that's ever lived, to learn from him what hard work is. So if you don't want that, that's fine, but don't think other people don't. I would pay money to be there right now and not even an engineer. And you look how they're all smiling, they're happy, they're like, let's get this working. They probably feel more invigorated than ever before to be a part of greatness, potential greatness. Twitter's had struggles with the verification and the fake accounts, and they'll figure that out. It's just kind of crazy. You can just create anything and they'll figure out that. I don't know what the answer is to it, but I think they'll figure it out. The double verification, I agree, is awkward. But here's the picture of them smiling. And they will figure it out. He actually showed them on the whiteboard, basically breaking it down, planning it out. You've got people who are happy to be there, that want to be there, that want to work hard, that aren't necessarily blue-haired or even they don't put whatever their beliefs are before the goal of making Twitter the best social media app out there. That's priceless. That's leadership. That's why CBS can't be a part of it. They try to lie and say it's all about this chaos. They'll be back. It's not about chaos. It's about this. If this is successful, CBS News won't be successful. If Elon's leadership is successful, then CBS News won't be getting the views. The bots won't be following them. If they want to be successful on Twitter, they will have to bring something authentic to the table. Why? Because of Elon Musk. You know who else realizes that? George S. and Hillary C. They realize that. Groups tied to them are claiming that Elon Musk's Twitter ownership is a direct threat to public safety. They think you're stupid as hell. They think you're a numbskull. If you believe what they're saying here, that Twitter is a danger to public safety, then you are a danger to yourself. You need to wear a hard hat when you go outside. But this is what they're trying to sell you. And then not only that, they kind of indirectly fund these groups so they can say, whoa, we didn't do that. But these groups tied to them, Accountable T, closely tied to them, Onward T, Ultra V, they're all to them. They have a letter here where you can put any company to sign on to this BS about Elon Musk's takeover, toxifying our information ecosystem and being a danger to public safety, especially among those already most vulnerable and marginalized. Do you think George S. and Hillary C. care about the most vulnerable and marginalized? No. You are used again as a puppet, as a weapon. They want to stop his leadership. They will have to stop it quickly because that spreads. Just like I talked about Donald Trump, however you feel about him, his leadership spreads. There is no Ron DeSantis without Donald Trump. There is no Marjorie Taylor Greene, Carrie Lake. So we've got leaders popping up. My question for you is, everyone's not a leader. I'm not a leader. Are you going to help these leaders or are you going to go against them? That doesn't mean give honest feedback. I'm going to give you honest feedback. But where our interests converge, my role is not to be a leader. There's only few leaders. My role is to help the leaders. Let me know what you think. Take care.